Gracia churns endlessly. A mechanical beast chewing its own tail, convinced it's a feast. Towers of brass and glass rise high into the smog, their edge catching the moonlight like the teeth of a saw. Steam escapes from hidden veins in the streets below, curling upward as ghosts trying to flee a city that keeps them bound. The streets hum with motion, the frantic pulse of gears and engines pretending they're alive, as if noise could replace meaning. Two figures stand on a neighboring rooftop, cloaked in the smog of a city that wouldn't seem to know they exist. The taller one, still as the moon itself, their metallic cloak catching faint streaks of light through the haze. Beneath their hood, smooth lines of soft light trace their face, flowing like streams on a map only they can read. They are calm, unshaken, as if this rooftop were the only solid ground they've ever known. The shorter one shifts constantly, arms crossed, pacing the edge of the rooftop. Their patched cloak flutters sharply in the polluted breeze, each step like a defiant challenge to the city below. Jagged lines on their skin seem to cut against the air, their presence sharp and restless. Following the taller one's gaze across the gap, a private hall blazes with golden light. Behind massive stained glass windows, a dinner party unfolds. Men and women, swathed in brass and velvet, toast to their own importance, their laughter rising like flames from a fire they themselves are feeding. The shorter figure ceases pacing to stand dangerously close to the edge, as if to challenge the wind itself. They don't even know what's happening. They rarely do. This is ridiculous. Miles away, lands are on the brink of collapse, and here we are watching them drink wine. Here is where we were sent. We shouldn't be here. We should be watching the Child of Flame, or the one Undulith controls, or somewhere that matters. The taller one tilts their head slightly. This matters. Does it? The shorter one throws up their hands, pacing again. They think they're untouchable. They toast to their progress, refusing to notice the sand clinging and digging between their damned golden cobblestones. Most won't see the end coming before it does. The shorter one stops, turning sharply towards the taller figure. You say that like it's fine. Like it doesn't make your skin crawl to stand here and watch it all fall apart. It doesn't. Convenient. The taller one doesn't respond. They're calm, unbroken. The shorter figure steps closer, their voice rising. You'd rather be here, wouldn't you? Far from the war brimming, far from the fire, far from the light. They stop mid-sentence, watching the taller figure closely. For the first time, the stillness shifts as the taller one finally turns to their partner, face shrouded now in shadow. The light isn't ours anymore. But it was. They were. And they're out there now, twisting and defiling everything and everyone they touch. The taller one straightens, the faint glow under their hood brightening. The light is beyond our reach. Because we abandoned it. Because it is no longer ours to hold. The shorter one shakes their head, stepping back towards the edge of the rooftop. It's easy for you to say that. I know this isn't the first time you saw a world fall to itself, but why? Why stay here? The taller one gazes towards the moon, faintly visible through the smog. Here is where the threads cross. And everywhere else, they're fraying. To pull at the threads is to tear the weave. The shorter one leans against the edge of the rooftop. And when the princess and the primordial champion fall to him, when the child burns too bright, when the drowning ones sink the islands for good, we just watch that too. We observe. We report. And we let it happen. Taller one faces forward again, looking back towards the glowing hall. What else would you have us do? The shorter one doesn't answer, their fists clenched at their sides. Laughter bursts through the closed windows from the hall. Below, the streets hum with the rhythm of the city, endless and exhausting. The shorter figure crouches down, dusting away the sand on their boot. I hate this. The waiting. No. The knowing. Time passes as the wind suddenly stirs, scattering smoke and ash between the towers. There is a dull flash of white-blue light, and in an instant, the rooftop is empty. Its watchers gone. Hello, everyone. Welcome to It's a Long Story. Place where we roll dice, we tell stories, and we create magic. It is a new year in the world of Astera, as there is seemingly, possibly, dependent upon many things, a ticking clock on the world itself, fully, completely dependent upon its adventurers in keeping it alive. Welcome to 2025, y'all. We are here with our beloved friends in the Mongoose Crew. Everybody take a look at your camera, wave, and say hi.
Hi.
For those that have no idea what this is a sort of a different intro of our normal sort of setup. But hi, we are a D&D live stream that runs every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, having 5 parties living, existing, and breathing for those that do in the same homebrew world, the wonderful, beautiful world of Astera, for as long as it still stands. Before we begin tonight, a couple of announcements. First and foremost, that video itself, there will be more like it, showcasing some scenarios, pieces that will come to pass, are happening now, and maybe have already happened. So we will see more as the year continues. So be on the lookout for that. Also, let's see. No, I think that's it as far as that goes. But if you're wanting to support the channel, the best way to do so is to like and subscribe where you're watching this, whether that is on YouTube or Twitch. Please and thank you in advance for that, as that does help us out a ton. So feel free. Also, you can check out our Instagram and TikTok down below. All the social media stuff down below there at It's a Long Story _TTRPG. We'll see some of our most favorite moments of destruction, chaos, sadness, happiness, mirth, silliness, all the good stuff. And also feel free to like and subscribe there as well. Please and thank you. That is, I believe, it as far as announcements go. But as we are taking our first step into our first session with the Mongoose Crew in our new year, we do need to get a recap of where we left off with the crew. So, Lorianne, please take it away.
Okay. So we started last session with the group still handling the aftermath of what was going on with the family. So we were in the middle of combat, and Milo finished off the last construct after fully transforming into a werewolf. During this transformation, he hears a voice in his head from one of the I didn't catch who it was from New Moon, but someone from New Moon saying that they thought the family was friends and to just be careful, and if he wants to know more, to reach out to talk. Milo doesn't really have time to talk at the moment because he's in the middle of a fight and also dealing with a fire that began to spread because he likes to light things on fire. But he's able to.
Was a logic.
It was good. He was able to direct Noros towards it, and Noros was able to take care of it with Wall of Water. While the rest of the group is dealing with the aftermath of their battle, Eldrin is in the ethereal plane using etherealness and following Eleonora and Basile, two of the elders of the family, as they race toward the scene of the battle. Eldrin also receives a sending from someone in New Moon. She receives it from Grian, and he says that he hears that we're with the family and that they came after the rod and they ambushed and tried killing two of them, and that Ewolf died running from them. So Eldrin tells him that it's noted that she got the message. So Eleonora and Basile arrive at the scene. Eleonora demands to know why a fire has started in the woods and what's going on. Milo begins explaining the battle, including why the group was there, but when he mentions hearing the loud rumbling and that's what brought them there, Eleonora interrupts and pointedly asks Basile if she vouches for him, which she confirms that she does.
Oh, sorry, Lorianne, just pause for a second. Evie Muck's doing that thing again. All right, try again. Try talking again.
Oh.
Yeah, it's still going. Try it one more time.
Hello.
There we go.
I hate this. Anyway, what did you hear? What was the last thing you heard?
I just stopped you, like, right when you started coming up.
Okay. So Guar then yells, "I just want to go help people," and runs away from Basile and Eleonora along, and Broomhilda, embarrassed, follows after him. Wilbur has no patience for Eleonora and her attitude, and sarcastically, well, not sarcastically, it was really just tells her basically she should be grateful for how they handled the situation for her, and dismissively suggests that she can leave now. Eleonora didn't like that. So then Riley, not Riley, hold on. Oh my gosh, where do I... Well, okay. Milo explains then why he started the fire, reasoning that the dragon was made of wood, so it should be vulnerable to flames. And then Basile also confirms that the house, or the place where the house was, belonged to Aesop and that he's missing. Riley asks where Eldrin is, which leads to Milo explaining to Eleonora who she is, prompting her to say, basically demanding that she get summoned back. Eldrin's there, just no one can see her, so she uses her last sending to tell Noros to basically say, like, I'm investigating where Cabbage went, I'm not lost, tell them that. Noros failed miserably, rolled a nat 1, tried to act like he sent Eldrin ascending, didn't do very well, and made Eleonara even more suspicious. So Eleonara and Basile leave with Eldrin following them. Gwar also sends a message to Eldrin, asking her where she is and updating on what they went through with the house dragon and that they're all really tired. And Eldrin reassures him that she's investigating and just to wait for her before they head back to the grove. So Eleonora and Basile meet up with Cylindra, so all three of the remaining elders of the family. Eleonora does her due diligence, casts a divination spell to see if anyone's hidden, but Eldrin's just too good. And doesn't get caught, or at least she thinks she's undetected. She's able to stay pretty far away from them, about 60 feet, and read their lips to gather the full story. So basically, New Moon arrived. Caboche was like, they're cool. The rest of the elders were like, we're not so sure. Theros, one of the elders, detected a strong magic nearby, and it prompted a meeting with all of them. Caboche revealed that Alyssa, but he probably said the child, just when you were explaining it, Joe, you did say Alyssa, holds incredible power and is connected to the primordial deity Ignivirus, who's trapped within her. Caboche proposed extracting the rod from Alyssa without harming her, and there's a dispute that arose, and then Caboche kind of reluctantly was like, well, if we have to kill her, I guess so. And then the elders suspect that the rod awakened, the rod's awakening.
That is an interpretation. He definitely wasn't like, okay. It was not like that at all.
Well, you know what? I was just hearing piecemeal. He wasn't there.
That's true. That's true. I just want to make sure that it's very clear.
Well, yeah. I tried. The elders suspect the rod's awakening disturbed the father, which Eldrin has no idea who the father is, and neither does Riley or Brimhilda when she asks them later on. And then they reveal amongst themselves that their plan is to lay low, rebuild the family, and send an envoy to try and retrieve the rod, aka send an envoy to kidnap a child. It's also confirmed by them, although Eldrin already knew this because she witnessed it, that Caboche is dead, and the elders assume Theros is too. Meanwhile, Gwar works on saving more people and finds an elderly turtle named Elindra. And through her, Milo is able to alleviate some of his anxiety and confirm that Tomb is alive. Eldrin returns to the group, and they go back to the grove together. They bring... what's his name? I hate him, and I can't remember his name.
Gutter,
thank you. They bring Gutter with them as well. When they're back in the grove and the portal's closed, Eldrin briefs them on the situation. She lets them know that it's pretty complicated. New Moon definitely mishandled the situation, but the elders are super corrupt. She tells them about Ignivirus and that being trapped within Alyssa, who is also probably the rod of destruction that Grian told Brunhilde they have a lead on, but they actually have. She tells them that the elders plan to extract the rod alive or dead, and we then discuss that Alyssa probably needs to be hidden somewhere safe, and Eldrin says that New Moon lacks the capability to handle this because she makes friends everywhere she goes. So the group decides to sleep and discuss more in the morning. The next morning, we all have a little scene where we just go over what we're doing. Eldrin and Nora spend some time together, and he's able to convince her to come have breakfast with everyone, even though she doesn't want to. Gwar prays to Bahamut, talks to Celeste, and practices some sword scales while Brimhilda watches sipping tea. Wilbur stumbles out of his yurt, tired, and is mock attacked by Gutter that then escalates to a real fight that Gwar needs to intervene in. And Saren, looking more creepy and ethereal than normal, shocks Raylor with her appearance. She then explains everything to him, starting with the Merid, leading to her death and the deal she made to save her and Wilbur. And it reveals that she has to take a soul daily to avoid being dragged to the Shadowfell. He comforts her and assures her that they'll figure it out. I love my one note for Milo. Milo makes shorts so he can run faster and tries to race Gerard. Eldrin asks the group at breakfast what the plan is next and mentions that she needs to find her brother, Volmos. Saren is confused by this because Saren says, didn't we just do that? And so she explains what's going on to Saren, and that the Volmos that they saved wasn't the Volmos that they met in Honoria, and it was another one, so they have at least one more to find. she also mentions that they need to handle their call to arms that they made and figure out the Dwendelver situation. Eldrin then interrogates Raylor, and he doesn't seem to remember ever meeting Volmos, but he does express guilt for some of his actions, or at least the actions of this other him, and offers loyalty moving forward. So then the groups get into a debate about blueberries and yams, leading Eldrin to leave and Milo and Noros to follow her. Milo is very sweet and comforts Eldrin after she recounts what she saw with Cabish, Theros, and Ewolf. Eldrin almost opens up and cries, and then Guar interrupts and she shuts down and leaves. Milo then gives some great insights about them not being okay, about no one being okay. Tries to give Guar some shorts. Raylor gets distracted by Guar's legs, and Wilbur and Raylor get poisoned by a bloomling. Eldrin then finds Huxley and tries to vent to him, but he instead tells her she's stupid for not working through it with the Mongoose Crew, mainly Wilbur. He also gives her some insight about Gutter and that he is responsible for him because it's his fault, everything that's happened to him. They leave each other with basically, you go talk to your person. No, you go talk to your person, and that's kind of it. And then Guar delivers Wilbur to a nice patch of grass to wake up, and then goes to spar with Noros. And in the middle of sparring, gets a message from an old girlfriend, we think. I don't know if you can hear this, but I am out of options, Guar. We really need you home right now. The end.
Beautiful. Anything else that we need to add, friends?
I never said it was a girlfriend.
We know out of game. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it could
It's
be.
true. You actually did tell us because I was
great grandmother.
I was going through notes, and when you told us about your allies in Dwendelver, you didn't say a girlfriend. You said the daughter of a rich merchant. Is that the same person?
Maybe.
It's a good way to describe someone who you used to date or something. She's just the daughter of a rich merchant.
She's a daughter of some guy.
She's a daughter. She has parents.
And eyes.
This daughter.
Okay.
This person, female-based person.
She has a female voice.
Cool. I am effectively stalling to see if we get Jamie back, but we'll see. Okay, cool. All right. So we got everybody back. You guys are in the grove, safe, and at least safe. And I will say, I need Eldrin. Well, technically, actually, I need Noros to give me an attack roll with advantage.
Okay, let me get my dice. I'm so excited.
Wow.
Guys, he leveled up too.
Great.
Hey, everybody
Fantastic.
go get their dice, by the way, if you don't have that.
Yeah, I don't
It
play
has been 3
D&D.
weeks. It has been 3 weeks.
That's fair. That's fair.
Okay.
Fourth
So-
town.
Oh, it's been so long.
Look, I got his character sheet though.
Can you
Nice.
guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, loud and clear.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You sound great.
Yeah, you
So-
disappeared and now you're back.
Okay.
With advantage, you said?
Yes.
Magic.
Of course with advantage.
Well, didn't do very well. He rolled a 12, which equals a 22.
Would
It's
that hit
12.
Core?
That hits me.
Okay.
Great.
So he hits you with the bident.
Guar, you hear, I really need you home right now. And then you feel a sudden pain in between the spot of your armor, between your arm and your cuirass, that just kind of slices right in. A move that would be easy to parry, but you truly just weren't paying attention at all. So for Noros, go ahead and roll full damage.
It's not too much, so don't worry. 12.
Guar, you take 12 points of damage as a bite seems to slice into the kind of like mostly just the fatty tissue here.
Calling
Makes you
him
think
fat?
I have any fatty tissue.
All right, fine. You lose your arm.
Children can regenerate it.
It's all hard muscle, and the tendon just shoot up and immediately paralyzes the nerves, and you're
So
Joe,
okay.
how many arms are you going to take from us?
as many as I can.
All of them.
No.
So I think Guar would be kind of like he's parrying, like just toying with Noros, and then all of a sudden I stop and go, and in that same second I get stabbed. Ah, fuck! Ah! God! Ah!
All right, dude. I'm sorry. I didn't.
Hang on, wait, hang on. Can I message back?
You can.
Saoirse? How did you know I was alive? I am alive. It's good to hear you. How's your dad? It's Guar, by the way. Ah!
Guar, hey, buddy, you're bleeding.
Oh! Wow, that was a good one. Whew!
Yeah, I honestly that wasn't my best shot, but okay.
I should have easily
Eldraine?
parried that. I should have easily
Eldraine.
parried that. Ah!
I was leaving Huxley, so I think I come up to that. What happened?
I stabbed Guar.
Did you deserve it?
Wait.
Usually I would say yes, but
No.
this time it wasn't true.
Okay. So I come over to Guar and I look at it. How bad does it look?
I would say like taking the mechanics aside to it, I would say it looks. Roll me a medicine check. Actually, that's fun.
I got 2 holes in my side.
Okay, medicine. 16.
Cool. With a 16, I will say it's enough that you spent enough time with Guar to recognize Guar must have really been distracted to get this heavy of a hit.
I roll my eyes and I say, it's first thing in the morning and I have to waste resources. And I will... I'll do healing word on him.
Okay, you got it.
It's 8. So there you go.
So you did take 12.
Right.
Heal for 8.
I will lay on hands on myself for the other 4.
Beautiful. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, you can. All right.
Thanks for most of it. Ow. Whew. Sorry about that. I heard a message in my head and was not expecting that at all. So yeah, can we take a break?
Yeah, we'll see you guys in 10. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to focus. That was not ready for that.
That's fine. We have no time for fun anyway. I don't know why you two are even doing this. We need to get together and discuss a few things with the group, I believe.
Okay. I've been nicked a couple times, Guar, and I said let's keep going. Yeah, it's fine. Take a break.
What?
Are you okay?
So I just got a message from my an old workplace proximity associate of mine. My partner, partner in the resistance.
I apologize that I did not use the dice cam for this, but I will show on the dice cam what I did roll, which is a 19.
I'm not rolling because I'm choosing. Eldrin doesn't understand what he's talking about. And she's like, why did you explain it like that? That was a really weird explanation. Yes, a work associate. What did they need?
For me to come home.
I thought you didn't have a home anymore.
Would like it to be. It should be my home.
Also, I thought your work associates, like...
Yes, the ones I fought in battle with, not the ones behind the scenes. There were many that were more subversive than that.
How do you know if this associate is not under Tal's influence? I mean, we learned about the living light sickness.
You see Brimhilda has, I think she's probably like looking at, probably like sitting, kind of like reading a book, and you see that you actually hear the sharp sound of a book shutting as she comes walking over. She was close enough distance away that she could have heard that.
That's
fine.
fine.
I'm not entirely sure if she's there or not.
I've done nothing wrong. Oh, hey, Broomhilda.
Hi.
Are you going to answer my question? How do you know that she's not under Tal's influence? Or I say they. I don't know who they are.
The truth is, I guess I don't know, but she stayed far away from Tal, as did most of the operation. They maintained a strong sense of cover.
So is this a spy?
Yes, in a manner of speaking. More than that, she was also responsible for disrupting supply lines and cooking books and getting resources to our allies.
Sounds like someone that could be very useful.
Oh, she's amazing.
Okay. Well, speaking of allies, I mean, she's not your only ally. You have like 40 people coming to north of Grifton. We need to discuss that as well.
We do.
So why don't we gather everyone together?
Let's do it. I mean, don't get me wrong. As much as I think I'd like to go help, I don't think that would be prudent until we make a plan. So I'm with you.
Still, might be a good idea to just check on that resource.
Yeah. I did respond. I haven't heard back yet.
Well, if she messaged you and then you responded back, she would have to waste another resource in order to talk to you again.
Or use one in a very important, meaningful way.
Well, it depends on what you relayed back to her.
Oh, I thought it was pretty good.
Did you give any information on how to contact you?
Well, she reached out. I figured she knew how to do that already.
Right.
She didn't think you were dead. I thought everyone thought you were dead.
I told her I was alive.
Well,
so now she knows.
Okay. I don't think you had to include that if you were responding to the sending, but...
Well, I mean, it could be an apparition, or like I could be, it could be someone else impersonating me, like a catfishing situation. That's why I could...
And you saying I'm alive in your voice would make that would.
Well, hearing my voice is the first step, and then me saying I'm alive is the second step of the verification.
Okay. Yeah.
I like a two-step verification. It's really more confirming.
This is going nowhere. Can we please just gather everyone and go to the table and discuss the things?
I don't know why we haven't yet. I'm willing to do it.
Eldrin starts looking around for people.
Cool. We'll say, for the sake of simplicity, you guys are being gathered together.
I grab Huxley too, if he'll come.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Cool. And so as you guys are gathered together, we'll say by that same sort of that table that you were having breakfast at. So outside, I will say, because it has been quite a long time since we've described ourselves, it is the new year, and a lot has changed in the few months with the Mongoose Crew. So I would like us all to go around and describe what our characters look like in this moment, as if no one's ever seen our characters before, but also maybe to signify some changes that have happened over the I will say out of game, coming up on 4 years we've been together. So
Yeah, it's only been a month and a half in game.
right, yeah.
Mhm.
As I am reminded.
Mhm.
So as
Timeline
we,
is very important to me.
yes. So as we see the figures starting to kind of gather and to take a seat, we will move. We'll go as I've been doing this. We're going to go just straight down from left to right. So we will start with Guar. What do we see when we look at Guar?
Frickin' brick house. I will read you my description. So I am a half elf, 6'4", 240 pounds, silver hair, and some silver stubble. The makings of a beard are coming in. Blue-gray eyes. I'm tall for a half elf. Strong and firm and solid from years of military training from a young age. Long silver hair. Matte black plate armor. With some gold accents and a gold dragon head emblem emblazoned on my breastplate. The same emblem can be seen on my little Stormcrash shield, which is attached to my wrist. I have a halberd stuck to my back. It's glowing. It's got, like, not glowing, but like has a bit of a sheen. A little bit of like it's like black a shaft with silver blades. They're steel, but they look silver. And I've got some, my armor's a little bit more nicked up than I'm used to, but it's very polished, very well kept, and I am ready to take on whatever the fuck comes my way.
Beautiful. I love it. Awesome. Guar, as you are sitting down, what is Guar's, I will say above board, because the sort of like fun sort of thing that we've kind of signified out of game, is Guar a little curious or worried or whatever in regards to the idea of like talking about a female friend in front of Broomhilda?
I think Guar would be a little disconcerted given what she's capable of.
Sure.
I also think that Guar would realize, like, whatever happened between them happened way before he and Broomhilda got back together. And I haven't seen this person in probably about a year. So, I just figured everyone was presumed decimated. They all assumed I was dead, so I was just trying to, like, make my way. So, I feel like there's enough distance that's happened between that I would be able to explain it without feeling like I did anything wrong. I can't guarantee what Broomhilda's response would be, but yeah.
Right. Yeah, so I guess my question is, are you interested in how Broomhilda's reacting to this?
Yes.
Cool. Roll me an insight check.
Sure. Okay, that's not bad. Where's my... You said insight?
Yes.
Okay, I got a 22.
Okay.
Natural 16.
Okay. Yeah, she seems to be curious in the idea of having someone who might be on the inside.
Yeah.
Nothing more than that.
Well, she's an excellent resource, so...
Mm-hmm. From that, I think we see like eyes kind of darting back and forth between Broomhilda and like anyone else in the party, and we see the camera seems to kind of zoom down, and down to an empty chair as we see a paw, hairy paw kind of like come up and start to push themselves up onto their chair and or their kind of stool at the table. As we see Wilbur. Wilbur, would you please describe what you look like in this moment?
Wilbur is a 2 foot, 8 inch tall, 70-pound wombat. He has brown fur that I imagine he's getting a little gray around the eyes in the last month and a half just because of all the shit that the Mongoose Crew has been through. Really nothing too crazy about Wilbur. He wears a green cloak, like a green hooded cloak, and underneath of it, can't really see it all the time, but there is a necklace with a purple gem on it that was gifted to him from his mother, Winona. And on Wilbur's side, he carries a long sword, and embedded in Wilbur's fur and under his cloak are little tiny twig blights that you can't see. His faithful companion Twiggy is often sitting atop his shoulder. Wilbur is just a happy, plump little wombat, has kind eyes, and if you piss him off during battle, his appearance kind of completely changes, and his fur stands on end, like static electricity. Lightning will kind of encircle him, and his eyes will turn a very creepy, wintry blue.
Beautiful. I love it. Very nice. I'll say, Wilbur, as you kind of come back to the table, there was a certain point actually that you had to be kind of like, that you eventually kind of woke up and found yourself in this like kind of like nice sort of patch of grass. Not entirely sure what happened. So as you come back to the table, I'd like you to give me a nature check.
I think I'm really good at nature. Well, not super good, but 24.
Nice. Hannah asked if Wilbur is Super Saiyan. Yeah, basically, yeah, yep. Super
basically.
Saiyan. 24. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
The 24. Looking at your paws, your sleeves. As you come to the table, you kind of like have to like kind of like plump yourself down. You notice that there's a little bit of like this like kind of this odd sort of like greenish like leftover sort of like soot that seems to kind of like poof up for a second, and you like kind of like you feel this moment of like almost like you have to sneeze, and then you feel yourself kind of like starting to kind of go out a little bit and recognize that what happened was that you passed out from some sort of poisonous chemical.
Great.
Given the time that you've spent with even the recent time you spent with Gutter and the bloomlings, I think you surmised with the 24 that's what happened.
Man, I'm gonna hurt this thing. Does Wilbur see anyone else nearby?
You basically like your entire group is coming to sit here, but is there someone specific you're looking for?
I'm going to look at Guar and say, you need to take Gutter and watch him before I seriously hurt him.
What did he do? Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, I'll talk to him.
We see just for fun, I'm going to say, we see the camera start to shift over further down the line as we see there is no one at the table, and then all of a sudden a very like skinny, somewhat like pale grayish green skin hand comes shooting up and plopping himself on the table. Now next to Wilbur is Gutter, who is now just sitting and waiting, assuming that the time that has been spent in doing this means that there's food. So he's kind of just waiting. You see he has like probably like a couple like sticks in his hands, like forks ready to
We
ready
ate
to
an
go.
hour ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
He's reading this is the table, right? This is where we eat. Cool. Got it. We see the camera kind of like shift to him for a second, and then seems to kind of like turn to the opposite side as we see an elven woman coming to sit, but seemingly something's a little off, as there is some like kind of like weird sort of grayish maybe smoke around. But Saren, would you please describe what you look like in this moment?
So Saren is a 5 foot tall elf. She has pale skin, dotted with freckles and a few more scars than she started with. She has messy teal hair that goes probably down to her mid back. Occasionally you'll see her with a headband and a face covering that has branches and moons covering it, and a necklace around her neck with that same sigil of her patron. She has navy blue and gold leather armor that seems to change slightly from day to day, as she can glamour it however she wants. There's a large scimitar, a double-bladed scimitar on her back, and as she moves, you can kind of almost see through her at this point, and there's kind of an ethereal like lag, I'd say, as you see kind of 3 of her as she goes to sit down.
Let's get one of those pictures.
There she is.
Beautiful. So she goes to sit down. You see that like happen like 2 more times. Yeah, Saren. Roll me a nature check, I think.
Okay. Yeah. That is a 16.
Or Arcana, whatever's higher.
Definitely nature.
Cool. All right. Cool. With a 16, you definitely are like noticing. Obviously, you're noticing this sort of effect happening, and you're also noticing how it's appearing to everyone else. And I think with a 16, you're not entirely sure, but you're starting to kind of wonder when you're the parts of you that is seemingly becoming ethereal, when is it going to start affecting maybe your senses?
Mm-hmm.
So, but you're not entirely sure. So, you take your seat. We see 2 figures sitting down next to you, one of which we had previously been introduced to, Noros. And we'll say, actually, honestly, Lorraine, if you want to describe what Noros looks like.
Oh yeah. Norris is like 5'2". He has blue hair, and he's a bluish green skin tone. He's a Triton. He's pretty young for a Triton. He's around 21, I believe. And he has a scar that goes from across his eye on his eyebrow down. And he just looks like a nice guy. Like he has like a, I don't know, he has like just a friendly look to him.
Yeah.
And
I think I'm just like following right along that the friendly, nice fellow guy sitting right next to the betrothed, married, Eldrin Enrath. If you could please describe what Eldrin looks like.
Yeah, so sitting next to the friendly, open Noros is Eldrin, who just looks either perpetually annoyed or, but in this moment she looks more serious and angry than anything. She is 4'9", is about 19, and is also a Triton. She has green hair, turquoise eyes, and bluish green skin. She's also wearing beautiful white robes that seem kind of ethereal-esque. I don't think we've ever really talked about this, but her white robes from Persona when the sun hits them just right, they seem transparent a little bit, just the way they move too. So she's wearing that. She also has a beautiful trident that is very, very ornate, and a shield that kind of looks like a shell. And yeah, she's sitting there, just looking like she'd rather be anywhere else in the world right now.
Beautiful.
Except when Nora steals her gaze for a few seconds, you see her face does soften if she looks at him, but then it goes back to angry.
I guess keeping right in line with that, I do not have an updated picture of Eldrin. So if you could, someone could send me that at some point.
Yeah, it's just it's the one I got commissioned a while ago. I haven't changed it.
Can you 16:9 that for me?
I don't know how to do that, so I will ask Kayla later.
Okay, sounds good. Awesome. So we will move on down the line. It's funny, I don't have as many pictures of you guys.
I have the Midjourney one.
Yeah, you can use that one. Oh, she also has, because I always forget about this, she also has a ton of like cool like earrings on her ears. She has like hoops, like about 4 of them.
Nice.
I think I also forgot to say Saren's eyes are green. It's very important.
Very important.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Not positioned right for this, but it's gonna flatten out. Never mind. Cool. So we'll say, let's see. Sitting, because they don't need to sit together, I would say sitting next to Eldrin is Broomhilda. This kind of very the like sort of like stereotypical sort of like look of this witch, but she seems to be I'd say rather I think we said like 5'6", 5'7", somewhere around there. So like kind of like an average sort of height. Blonde hair. Her eyes are not glowing as it is in this picture now, but she does have some deep sort of golden iris, and that her hair seems to be a little bit of a lighter sort of blonde that is kind of just descending down from her shoulders as she is sitting and kind of placing a book in front of the table and just kind of like leaning her palms against it. Next to her, as we continue down the line, we see Milo. Milo, could you please describe what Milo looks like?
Wait, what are we doing? No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, you see Milo. He is a 3/8. I don't know. He's like 40 to 50 pounds. He's a stocky little guy. He's a 3/8 little halfling. As you see, as balding. He's got dark brown with some red highlight in his beard. Typically wearing well-fitting clothes, but nothing too flashy, with the exception of his brand new shorty shorts that he's just started wearing. So you see Milo sitting there in about a 3-inch inseam short, with a full cloak on, because he's not ever without his traveling cloak. And he has he feels comfortable and safe here, so he's not wearing. Typically, he'll be wearing a turban. He is not wearing that right now. So on the sides of his head, you do see some scarring, from in an encounter from previous poor decisions. On the sides of his head, covered up by a little bit of stubble, but not much grows. And yeah, I think that's about it. Oh, he's I would say he's a young adult. He's a sprightly 50.
Cool. Beautiful. All right. Cool. And then next to Milo, we see an empty seat, and we continue to pan over as we see the next seat is taken up by Huxley. This individual with white hair, kind of more of a weirder sort of like piercing sort of yellow eyes. Actually, I'd say in the sunlight here, you'd see him actually probably putting the goggles on his head as he's having difficulty seeing in the bright light. So as he has those goggles down, you see him kind of taking the seat over and kind of like looking at Milo just from afar, or from one seat over, and just. What are we doing?
If there's a seat in between us, Milo's gonna set up some stuff, and while we're talking, he's gonna be sewing some stuff and mending.
Beautiful. So you're literally like trying to like take this moment of like, great, thanks for leaving the spot for me to do work in, as opposed to yeah. I love it.
Make it not awkward.
Hey, Milo, I have a mending spell if you need some help with that.
Oh no, I'm just playing around with something.
Okay, well, let me know. I mean,
yeah, thanks.
We skipped
I'm pretty good
Raylor.
at it. I'm pretty good at it now.
We did skip Raylor. I will say that Raylor is kind of like is sort of like is like somewhat maybe behind Saren and trying to kind of like is maybe not entirely sure as the camera kind of like moves past like, did you need me for this?
Eldrin will speak up if he looks like that, and she's like, we don't need you, you can come back later.
Ignore her. You can
He's
sit
not
by me.
proven himself yet. Why are we going to divulge
Eldrin.
sensitive information? Yes, Saren.
If he's not welcome over here, then I can also not be present for this conversation.
Well, when he slits your throat in your sleep because he's possessed by Tal, I will say I told you so after I've resurrected you.
I know what that looks like. He's not possessed by him right now.
See?
Yeah, his
It's
eyes
fine.
aren't pink.
Right. He's not trying to murder us.
It's quite all right. I do have some other things that I could probably be.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Ray, come on.
Nicknames already, Gwar?
We had a good conversation. Is that all right, Ray? Can I call
You know
you
what?
that?
I'm sorry.
mind it.
I said not
See?
but an hour ago that I would move past this for the sake of what needs to be done. So what better way to find out if you are a traitor than by letting you sit down and hear all of our secrets? So please join us.
I mean, that is what trust is about, right?
I mean, I couldn't be more clear. I don't see... I'm inviting you to sit down and join us.
Step in the right direction, I suppose. As Raylor goes to sit down, Kayla, could you describe what Raylor looks like?
Raylor
Flummoxed
is
right now.
Well, Saren thought Raylor was an elf, but now she's pretty sure he might be a half-elf. A little bit taller than her, kind of shaggy black hair, and a little bit of an overgrown undercut that you can sort of see. Slightly curled mustache and a beard. He has like robes on that are similar colors to Saren's and a lot more ornate and newly updated thanks to Milo. And yeah,
Beautiful.
about it.
Cool. All right, so Raylor takes a seat next to you all, next to you, Saren. And Gerard's somewhere close by. You notice, like Eldrin, I think you're like about to speak, and you see Brimhilda actually kind of like.
Go ahead.
So, this may be something that we can kind of split the group on, but I have, Wilbur, I have an idea. The past being what it is, I think it would be pretty important for us to maybe find a place of a home base that we can rely on, assuming that circumstances that took place won't take place again. I was thinking we should probably start working on getting Marvin back.
I thought you've been doing that for the past few days.
I've been doing my part in making that spell coming back, but it's going to take a lot more time. Unless I had some help. Wilbur, I recognize that you are a wombat, and significantly not the type of creature that would be working on taking down trees, but most of the spell's components really require a lot of the materials, and developing them from thin air is what takes up most of the time. If there was a possibility of maybe having the wombat family do a little felling.
Why don't we just go back to the family and get all of the trees that fell?
That would be a little disrespectful.
I also don't know if that's... I didn't feel entirely welcome there.
Well, yeah, no, it's super dangerous there. I just was thinking if Wilbur's family doesn't want to cut down trees.
Yeah, no, I think the wombats would be willing to help with that.
Is that a question we should ask Riley?
I was just going to say that I think that we should ask Riley how she feels about that.
Sure, yeah. I wouldn't have any problem doing that myself, unless you feel like it would be better coming from you. Knowing they're going towards a good cause. But it might slim things down.
Well, I can be there for that conversation, but I think that Riley would appreciate hearing it from you.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, I needed to just say that would be my focus for today. I'm sure there's other things we need to discuss.
Yes. First things first, we need to... Well, I suppose you dealing with the Marvin situation will help us with the call to arms situation. We have quite a few people that Guar has invited to meet us north of Grifton. So we need to figure out what we're going to do with that and meet them and then plan. I don't know what our plan was, to infiltrate Dwendelver or to take it head on, or we need to figure out when we go.
I don't think that's a good idea. I think it's better to take a more stealthy approach.
Okay.
At least at first.
Well, we need to figure out when to go. We need to figure out what to do when we get there. I don't think we have enough information to go on right now. It's Tall's home base, so we discussed it being the last step. So we could spend some time, I don't know, researching Tall and trying to find out his weaknesses. Guar, you mentioned wanting to do that after Melivist spoke of
going
where
north.
Tall is from.
Yes. I think that would be a good idea. As much as I want to go back, I think that it's best to go back prepared.
Yes. We also need to, and this goes into the researching part, we need to figure out a way to alleviate the sickness that living lights can exude onto people. We had discussed, and I look at Huxley and I say, we had discussed if maybe, Huxley, if you could develop something that can either protect us from that, or even in the interim help Broomhilda to suppress her living lightness. I don't know what to call it.
What?
What?
I don't think Huxley's aware of what you're
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Eldrin still
So
says
Huxley's
what?
going-
What?
What?
Oh,
What the fuck are we talking about?
living lights. Guar explained it better, that they have some sort of I don't know, presence about them, and it made Wilbur really sick. And I don't know, Guar, you're better at talking than I am.
And then Marvin collapsed on to all of us.
Yeah, that sucked.
Yeah.
It's like a super charisma effect. But it's to the point of euphoria, and then in the midst of that euphoria, they become sick.
Yeah, I'm not gonna try and steal your girlfriend, Guar.
Wait.
I don't feel that. Is that what you guys?
No, I
No,
was explaining what happened. No,
Wilbur got very sick, and he started losing fur. I don't think all of it's actually grown back yet, and it no fault of Broomhilda's. It was because of Broomhilda, and so we thought that maybe you could develop something to help suppress that. Because what I can do right now is calm her emotions, but I can only do that so many times if there are heightened emotions involved.
Okay.
And I was thinking in that vein, if maybe you could figure out a way for us to protect ourselves against Tal, because if we come face to face with him, that could be an issue.
Above board, I don't think Huxley knows anything about the living light.
Yeah, probably not.
So he's okay. So Broomhilda has some sort of elven aura or something.
Yes.
She's definitely okay. I assumed are you like Aasimar or human? And you see Broomhilda is like just like kind of and you see she's having trouble like explaining it.
She's a work of art.
Okay, Guard, seriously, just the salivating. I okay.
Basically, it's like a
No,
charm. It's like a charm thing. You know how people can cast and charm people.
Yeah.
She has the ability to pretty much do that without even trying, based on intense emotions.
Okay.
And-
And
sounds like it'd be
Tal has had
useful.
a very long time to perfect that, and he can do it at will, it seems.
So
because
Tal
they're-
has this too.
Yeah, they're both living lights. That's what they.
You keep
are.
saying that. What does that mean?
God, so
Like,
much to play.
Are-
Do you really want us to go into the whole thing?
I guess not. Yeah. All right.
Mhm.
So wouldn't it make more sense to just kind of make something that would be able to protect all of you from it, and then you
Oh,
could use.
Yes, that would be wonderful. I just thought it might be easier to suppress hers first. It's kind of what we discussed at one point, at least. But
I look at Brimhilda. I'm like, I know a way, but not right here.
what?
Nothing. Never mind.
Milo's gonna throw a spool of thread at Gora's face.
Yeah.
I let it hit me, and I smile.
So should we just like? I mean, could we just like cover her up?
Raylor, in those notes that you had when you and Huxley were making those machines that didn't have your handwriting, did they have anything to say about living lights or, power that exudes from things like Tal and...
Well,
Or do you not remember that either?
Give him a chance.
well, I was sort of thrown into the thick of the resources of information involving the living light. So it is actually, and like looks down the table at Huxley, who is not making eye contact, is now just looking straight at Guar. It's kind of so there was a phenomenon that happened many years ago, and these beings came down and were supposedly whatever source they came from was something that managed to be able to harness the charismatic aura of being liked, feared, or even worshipped for a time, and they were all taken away by some sort of celestial beings, except for what we presume to be one, and happens to be two, which is new information for me. I'll be honest, I didn't. So it's that you're one of the living light, then I presume. And you see just from Hilda kind of like nods. Interesting. Okay. Well. Looks at Saren, and then Huxley, I could probably help in these matters to try to find something that would work for suppressing this, if you would like my help. And I'll give it to Kayla. You have his sheet. Go ahead and roll me a persuasion check.
Okay. And Saren is absolutely looking at Huxley at this moment, just like, come on, just kiss and make up and be civil with one another. That's a 16? God, these dice are hard to read. 16.
16. Okay, cool. What's my stubborn check? What do I add to stubbornness?
Maybe like, no, I was going to say persuasion or performance.
Yeah, I think it would probably be more of like a saving throw. So I think we'll say a wisdom saving throw. So 16 is the total?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we'll I think the odds are very much in your favor here. So new dice cam. We're going to roll to see he has a only a +2 on wisdom. So we'll say has to roll a 14 or higher to be a dick. It's a 5.
Yay.
Huxley says, go fuck yourself. No. He goes, I guess if it's gonna help save the world, fine.
A marvelous time for you two to talk.
Just stares at Eldrin. Yeah, fine.
Where did you get the notes, by the way, Raylor?
What notes is she talking about?
The schematics and plans that he used to build things with Huxley that needed blood. The handwriting wasn't his.
Saren looks back and forth between Huxley and Raylor, just like, what is she talking about?
So do I.
Well, I mean, where I found it, I won them.
Oh. So you don't know where they came from?
No, I do not. The gentleman I won them from was an... I can describe his features if you'd like. He's an old man. Very
Really narrows
bright
it down.
blue eyes. White hair, long beard, probably about yay high.
But like how old?
Old.
Does that sound like
Um,
Cerilius, Joe? Or
The beard doesn't.
okay. Well, Eldrin says, well, so I just want to make sure I'm understanding correctly. You want a book of notes with schematics and plans, and totally understand wanting to try them out, but when you read the part about it needing blood, that didn't stop you?
Sorry, yes.
Or give you pause?
That part was not in the notes. It was requiring a significant resource. And that was something that actually was more of my... Okay, well, if everybody were to, slit their wrists and have their blood go out onto the table, you would notice something would change, would shift about. There is something that is different about certain figures that spend a lot of time around magic and delving into it. So the resource in that is, I discovered it myself, but
You discovered that magic is in the blood?
Eldrin,
Yes.
shh.
yes,
Yeah.
Essentially, yes.
Milo's gonna slam the jar of goo on the table.
Yeah, as
that-
he's doing
that-
this, Saren is digging the vial of blood and the vial of magic out of her bag and just sits it on the table next to him. So is that what this?
Rayler goes,
Yes.
my jizz! I'm just kidding.
My work.
Jesus.
I hate it.
Jesus.
Gunner, no, that's not food.
Lorian,
Well-
Lorian takes a timeout.
We all-
Minus
Wow.
one.
Negative inspiration.
That's
yes.
Yeah.
Roll a con save.
You see Raylor kind of like looking at this. Takes the jar from Milo, and Milo, that substance is the like kind of. Was it the blood or was it like the bluish sort of?
No, it was the bluish stuff that we found in his wrecked workshop.
Okay. Where did you find this?
You remember when your workshop got destroyed and those robots tried to kill us?
No.
Oh, hey. There was a big vat of this.
Yeah. First off,
There.
it was my workshop.
Wait. Oh.
As Huxley's.
It was
Yeah.
Huxley. God. Okay, so Milo would have known that. Jamie just got lost.
So you stole
in-
this from me.
It was one. The vat was broken and it was in puddles on the ground, so I kind of just stole it from the earth.
He also rubbed some of it on his head wound.
Didn't Milo try and
didn't
give it back to
help.
Huxley? And Huxley said just
I
keep
did.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Huxley.
Oh, okay.
Huxley, yeah.
Yeah.
But
I forgot.
Milo's like, I stole this from you too.
That's right. I completely
it was-
forgot about that. I'm sorry.
it was all I could. But yeah, Milo. It was on the ground. It was on the ground. The vat was destroyed, and this was all I could salvage from Huxley's workshop.
You kept up our work. Yeah, what ended up becoming my work. I see. Milo, can I... do you mind?
Yeah, it stings like a bitch if you put it in a wound, just to let you know.
I imagine, yes. Did you have this blessed at all? No, okay, yep, well, that is one thing I guess we did seem to differ on. As a precaution, because there are things that would refer to the concept of blood magic as inherently evil, rightfully so, given the concept of sacrifice being made and all that. It does kind of bridge that gap somewhat. I would usually make sure that these substances are consecrated for safety of making sure that the substance could really only be used for good.
Quick point of order. Was the blood voluntarily procured?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Milo's gonna his eyes
At
are gonna
least-
jut to Huxley at least.
When I
really
was,
quick.
yeah, at least when I was working on it, you see Huxley kind of just looking. I think Raylor sees it as all the more reason then to make sure that if we are using this, it would be blessed by a holy person, cleric of divine spirit that would be able to make sure, kind of cross the T's.
I mean, I could bless it too. I mean, I'm a paladin, but I could bless it.
Sure, yeah, I assume that would work.
Well, these jars, the jar that I found alongside of the jar of blood, we did find those ones under the Temple of Ilmater in Colville. Something tells me those probably weren't blessed, though, considering we got attacked briefly after finding them. I don't think they were being used for good. Any idea how it would have made it there?
To be honest with you, I mean, the concept of blood magic is something that has been around for a very long time. So, it would not be quite a jump to assume that there are others that might have picked up on the idea of using blood as a resource.
But this.
Do you mind if
this,
I see? Yeah, and goes to kind of take the vials.
This blue magic though, is that something you and Huxley created? I mean that was what was keeping you alive, and underneath the Ludus. It just seems very tied to the two of you.
At this, so specifically, just to make sure we're tracking this is the bluish liquid that you found in Colville.
Mm-hmm. And it was a jar of what seemed like the same stuff from Huxley's workshop, and then also a jar of blood that was right next to it.
Cool. Yeah. So blood. So the blood is blood. So I'd say he really just kind of grabs the substance, looks at it, shakes it up. And now he looks up at Huxley. Would you know of any reason on why this would be put in the hands of someone other than us. You see Huxley just kind of like stare back at him. Just... Might have lost some along the way. Okay, well, there you have it. I believe the secret of procuring this type of magic was seemingly freely given. Sold is how I would put it.
Huxley, I don't want to be too nitpicky here. Were you selling a finished product or were you selling a process? Because that seems important. An important distinction.
The product.
Insight check.
Okay. I said know your truth, so you have advantage, but he has pretty high deception.
It was a 24.
Okay. I will tell you, he rolled an 18. He is telling the truth.
Okay.
I would say with a 24, you determine that he is also like he's so good at lying that he's trying to kind of make it like maybe I did, maybe I didn't, but you know he's telling the truth.
Yeah. It was, okay. So finished product is easier to deal with. That's good.
Where did you go when you left Huxley?
When I left where?
No, sorry, I was speaking to Raylor. When
said
you
Huxley.
left, when you left
Comma.
Huxley, when he
Yeah,
left
when
Huxley.
you
There's no
left Huxley.
comma.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Where did you go when you left Huxley? Got it.
Mhm.
North. I was planning on... After being... After determining that there were certain parts of my time being spent there that would be best spent otherwise spent elsewhere, I heard tell of a school in North Imea and began my travels there. I made it to the Paya Mountains and before I was attacked. And I woke up in the room that you saved me from.
So, were you down there for, I think Huxley said you'd been gone for almost 6 months.
It was hard to tell the time. I was very much going in and out. I don't really remember how much... I don't remember many things, but I remember some things, and specifically not having full control of my faculties at the time.
Did you don't know who kidnapped you or who attacked you?
Well, I know now. But, my journey northward was only for educational purposes.
Saren, what was that place called that almost mentioned when he described Raylor and recognized his name? Do you recall? I can look too. I cannot remember.
What place?
Yeah, there was a place that Volmos said, and we talked about it was so long ago that like maybe that was a place we needed to go next. Back in Minoria. What the hell?
I also have no idea what you're talking about.
I'll find it.
I also have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay. Yeah.
I know, but I'm not helping.
Yeah, I appreciate that. All right, when is that? When we were in Minoria.
Was it when he was talking about Raylor?
In the prison. Yeah, when we were in the prison, and it was where he said that Raylor took him to save him. I'll find it. We can keep going.
I don't remember him saying a place. I have it like word for word.
Oh, I'll find it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. In the meantime.
Yeah.
I'll find it later. So I want to. Does Huxley look? Is Huxley really good at hiding his emotion? Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't get anything from him. Yeah.
I guess I thought you were asking the question in general. Do you want to roll an insight check?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, you got it.
I didn't reveal everything Huxley told me, so can't be that mad at me.
I
rolled a
mean,
12.
Now he knows that nobody else knew.
Yeah.
You didn't say anything until now.
I rolled 12.
22.
Okay.
He seems
hard to read.
be. Yeah, he seems to be annoyed, but it's
Okay.
pretty similar to his normal look.
Yeah, it's like
He
how
also has the
I
goggles on, so it's a little bit
normally
harder to
look
tell.
annoyed.
Actually,
Oh, he got his goggles back? I thought they were gone.
I would say probably at a certain point in the process he would have made new ones.
Okay.
He's an artificer after all.
Is he?
So Saren's gonna point at the jar of magic and say, "So, what exactly is that? What's it made of, or what does it do?"
It's midichlorians.
It's So it is a mixture of a couple
Maple
of different
leaves.
things. What?
Maple leaves. This way too, maple leaves.
You're just interrupting everybody today.
I'm so sorry.
What are you talking about?
I found a thing.
Okay.
Uh,
Give me a second.
Okay. I'm so mad I don't have that written down. Where was that?
Okay, what was this in reference to? Give me another.
When Volmos left, after being brought back to life, basically by a wood elf that he described as Raylor, there was a sign with a tree, a sign that reminded him of a tree, and it says "this way too." And then Saren figured out it was maple leaves.
Okay, yeah, he would have no recollection of that.
Okay, I just wanted to know where maple leaves was, if it was in.
I mean, let's see, for those, that would be. I think Broomhilda would know. Yeah, it's in South Imera.
Okay.
It's south of Eisenheim. Southeast of Eisenheim.
Okay.
But you kind of so yeah, I assumed I gave you guys kind of a hint at a certain point. So yeah, so that is kind of a. So let's role play this. I don't know where we were in the RP when you shouted that out. So
Sorry.
where are we? So we'll
Sarah
say
was
that you
asking.
shout out Maple Leafs. What?
Maple leaves? What?
Maple Leafs.
I think there's something over there.
No. Maple Leaf, Saren. It's where you told me that Volmos mentioned that's where they went. Where is that?
Yeah.
In relation to, I don't know, anywhere I would know.
Eisenheim. You would know Eisenheim, so if you want to say
Yeah.
that, just like, where is that in relation to Eisenheim? Brumhilde would go southeast. It's as far as I know, it's I don't know very much about it, but it's a like a druidic community.
Between Dwendelver and Eisenheim.
So that's where
Blood druids?
the Volmos that was underneath in the Honorian prisons thought he saw you, Raylor, helping bringing him back to life. Whatever part of the actual Volmos that was. Or I guess whatever part of you that was.
I wish I could help there. I have no idea if that was truly me or in what we've understood some sort of simulacrum of me. I have no knowledge of that. But it does sound like that is maybe a hint. If there is another me there, perhaps there's more answers.
And I guess this will be when Saren points down at the magic and asks,
Yeah.
What it is and what it does.
It's a mixture of some things that are helped to be able to kind of suppress the negative sort of reactions on other pieces, but it is for the most part blood, some other natural sort of resources, and a sprinkle of dominium as a and like kind of like starts to list other things, but dominium's the one that like perks your ears up, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Now I know, but like I don't know if everybody else at the table is aware of. You just unpack dominium for us for a minute.
Dominium? Oh, so it's well, it's kind of like it's an extremely volatile substance of a bright blue magical powder, always seemingly kind of glowing. Sometimes they can be found mined in caves. That one time I saw a piece that was like this big. It was quite incredible, but it's extremely expensive. And in the wrong hands, incredibly dangerous. But yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what else to give you guys. You guys are silent. What's going on?
Gor's trying to keep Gutter from trying to get the jars to drink them. So
Cool. You got it. Yeah, you see Gutter kind of actually. Let's see, Gutter. Yeah, Gutter's like you see like Gutter's like pupils seem to kind of like dilate weirdly around that silvery liquid. As in, like he's really interested in it.
yeah, we're all interested in it, Gutter. We'll just calm down.
So aside from blood magic, how else could this be dangerous? That feels like a really big danger area to me.
Oh, if you are using the wrong like resources to be able to mine it, it's kind of works similarly to like like a lot of like glycerin type of things. So it's you have to be extremely careful, or you might lose your hands, your feet, or your entire body.
Word. Yeah, that makes sense.
It is increasingly more suppressed in a liquid form. That way, it's dealing with the same sort of destructive forces of. But yes, it is.
But you also figured out how to re-engineer it to create limbs with your machines.
Yes, Dominium is, in my belief, I can't really prove this, but to be our connection to the weave.
I don't understand.
What?
Oh, there's a lot of different names for it. So I guess ley lines. Some equate certain gods to being related around. That might be kind of leaning more towards just an access to that. So, but the magic of the world, the places that we tap into to be able to cast our spells, and this is a sort of physical substance representing the vast power and chaos of what some may call the weave.
Well, interesting. I don't know about you, but at least Guar and I don't need these ley lines. I have Persona and he has Bahamut.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that. That is actually something that a lot of scholars actually believe that there's a possibility that these gods are actually just higher forms of higher life forms that have a more constant and consistent.
Have you met a god?
connection
Because
to
I
it.
have. I've met Persona and you're incorrect.
Well, I mean,
of course.
point of order, Eldred. I mean, I guess Bahamut's very, connected
You
to other
have not
gods. And
met Bahamut, so, face to
who are
face.
you? Who are you to tell me I have not met my god?
I feel you would have told me many, many times and wouldn't let me forget it. So you said you've spoken
magic.
with him.
Much in the same way that she won't let us forget that she met Persona.
I looks at
It's
Saren as like
very
I broke this
prestigious.
I started this. You see her. You see him like kind of. It's just magic. It's just what it.
Listen, Ray, I think I'm with you because, like, I think Bahamut is very connected to other gods, and I know that there's a network of gods, and some of them work together, some of them do not. I look over at Eldrin, but I think that
What was that supposed to mean?
that would actually make a lot of sense, given
right, and it's just a theory, and it's probably wrong.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying I'm open to that idea. I'm not closed off to it like other people, but I think that come on, Eldrin. I mean, come on. It's just an idea. It's just a way to explain it for people that aren't affiliated.
Blessed by a god and given
Affiliated.
the status that they have. Yes.
Saren just leans over and just squeezes his hand a little bit and says, "It's okay. They do this all the time."
I thought I started something.
Well, no, you're right. You're good. You're good.
It seems that Brimhilda is going to work on Marvin with the help of the wombats. So that will help us with figuring out getting to north of Grifton to meet with these people and have some sort of war council and figure things out.
Ooh,
Raylor and
war council.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Raylor and Huxley are going to work together and figure out if there's any way we can protect ourselves against the living light. Am I correct on that? And
you hear both of them hesitate, and both of them say yes.
okay. We need to. We can spend some time researching Tall. I haven't really had the chance to ask this of you, Broomhilda, but if you have some materials, I could beseech Persona and see what I can find out from legends about Tall. It's something I haven't tried before because it seemed useless because it involves reading a lot, and I like to just ask my questions to him directly.
Sure. Yeah, that is one way to get what you need. Yeah. What materials do you need?
I need, as I go to the spell, because I never go to it. It's 5th level, I believe. Legend lore. So I tell her I need some incense. I need and some ivory strips.
Okay, yeah, no problem. Just to be clear with everyone, when I was talking about trying to put Marvin together, obviously, getting the wood would be helpful, cutting it down, but also putting it together might be, so I could use truly anyone's help who is available for that.
Norris worked a lot with his father in Honoria and is pretty handy. I'm sure he would be able to assist.
You see him kind of like, yeah, I could help out.
I think we also need to. What's the
So
phrase?
I would pause you right now. Just Noros, everybody. Anybody else want to jump in?
Yeah, Milo would help. He's not gonna refuse.
Wilbur, are you? Is there something else you would have wanted to do instead of helping out with them?
I just want to help Brimhilda.
Cool.
Me too.
Okay.
What was Milo and Noros doing?
We're helping Brimhilda assemble Marvin.
Okay.
Yeah. So does it seem like pretty much everybody except for Eldrin, as Huxley and Raylor are working on their part stuff.
Is Saren helping?
Is Saren also helping?
Yeah, Saren can help with Marvin.
Okay.
Yeah, Eldrin can help too.
Yeah, I think. How long does Legend Lore take?
Legend lore, it takes 10 minutes, and I also wanted to try and scry as well if Brimhilda had the components to do that.
Okay.
So if that means I can't help, that's fine.
I would say, yeah. Well, we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
We'll see how that might be enough. Honestly, it's just making sure that everybody's got something to do.
And then I did want to address one other thing. So Eldrin will say, just to the whale in the ocean, as we like to say. Saren, what is going on with you? You look horrifying.
The not taking a soul for a few days thing.
She hungers.
Oh God, Milo, do you have to say it like that?
You hear Huxley laugh at that. That's really funny.
Oh shit! I healed too many people that you couldn't take one. Oh, sorry.
No, it's more complicated than that. We need to find one that deserves to be sent to where she now learned she's sending them.
I mean, I don't know.
You should have taken down that bitch that walked through the forest.
You know what? You're probably right there, honestly.
It's too bad you weren't with me when Theris's body was torn asunder in front of me. That would have been a soul you could have taken, and I think would have deserved where he went.
You see Noros is just like...
Thou shalt not kill whilst in the grove. Understood?
Okay, but we also killed a lot of people the last time we were here. That one time, you remember? And then we all disappeared. I guess we don't want to disappear again, so we probably shouldn't kill in here.
Yeah,
I mean,
Brimhilda vaporized the shell of my brother.
Are there any uncles that are really just horrible people, Wilbur, and any family members that are on death's door that it's okay if Saren takes?
I'm not
Okay,
taking
I'm
any
asking.
wombat souls, and the house dragon didn't exactly have one. So
Can you kill a woodland creature like a squirrel? Is that what you call them? A squirrel?
Close enough. Nobody tell her. Nobody tell her.
I look to Norris and nod at him when I say it.
I think he's still looking at you from the Theros torn asunder.
He was there when I told Milo.
Yeah, I know, but
I'm
you
saying
said
it
it's
very
so
nonchalantly.
matter of factly.
Yeah. Does Saren know any of that?
No,
I don't think
just
so.
told Milo. I just told Milo. You're all looking at me weirdly, and I think it's because I've only told Milo about what happened. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
You watched someone get ripped apart?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. One of the elders, when I went to investigate and try and find Cavish, one of the elders, or I'm assuming is an elder, he was a very, very large man. I described him to Milo, and I got uncomfortable by the way Milo was looking at me. But he he was doing some sort of ritual. And actually, I take out my I take out a notebook and I draw, because I did those. You told me I could remember it. I draw the sigils and stuff and showed Broomhilda, and I say he was drawing these things, and I think he was trying to sap or steal the life force of Cavish. But then nature seemed really pissed off about that, and Roots came out of nowhere and grabbed him on all sides and ripped him apart, and his blood splashed and would have hit me, but I was in the ethereal plane, so I was okay. But it was still very ghastly to look on.
You see Broomhilda shoot. Sorry, did you say that you marked them down? The sigils.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. Did we have you roll for how well you recognize that?
Yeah, you told me that I did that. I knew that they were like, they said things like sap, life, and things like that. But that because I didn't have paper with me, I rolled and I could remember well enough what they looked like, so I could relay it to Broomhilda.
So you did that. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you will say that at some point you had drawn these out, and so you're like kind of passing to Broomhilda. Broomhilda's the only one that's not reacting to the like torn the details of torn asunder.
And then I say, and then Cavish's body was pulled into the earth, and he was gone. And then I found Ewolf dead.
That's traumatic.
Yes, it was very unpleasant.
Yeah, this definitely seems to be stealing life force to feed into something else.
Maybe the father. Or the what was those things that they said? I have to look at my notes again. There's
Nathalis?
Yes, I say there's a creature that they talked about. The Nathalis. Could it have been that? I don't know.
I mean, given what I was told with this, I imagine that whatever the Nathalis is, I mean, she did say there was a reason why they made their houses high in the trees. But that's concerning. Yeah, that is weird. Okay, I'm interested.
We can discuss it more later if you would like.
Yeah. Well, here's those, and you see her kind of like open her little kind of like satchel and just kind of pulls out. Here's those materials. Guess we should go ask Riley.
Can I use your scrying ball? I assume you have one.
I have one.
Oh. Is it worth at least 1,000 gold pieces?
Are you gonna break it?
No, I just need to use it, and it needs to be specific.
Yeah, I mean it. You might not always like what you see, but yeah, here you go.
Okay, thank you, Milo. I appreciate it. This is very helpful. I take it, and I'm so excited. So excited to look into it.
Yeah, beautiful.
Milo doesn't know anything's wrong with it.
You saw Saren and Noros making out in it.
Yeah.
He said
Nothing
you might not
wrong
like
with
what
it.
you see. He said spying on people gets weird sometimes.
Milo's like, I said what I said.
I said what I said.
I don't know if that's a byproduct of scrying or if that was just a weird thing.
And I actually say, wait, Milo, you are able to scry this whole time? Without.
Did I never
right?
give you that item?
No, you didn't.
He's looked at it like 3 times, and it's always hilarious.
Yeah.
Wasn't one time Duchess was like with
In the mountains.
Magpie?
I know one time Duchess was like in a snowstorm in the mountains.
Yeah.
She might have been with Magpie, I think, but
My favorite is just Saren and Nora's kissing.
Yeah, it's that is. Yeah, it's on me. I know the item's somewhere. I have to find it. So we'll say for now it just works as it needs to for what you're needing it
Okay.
for.
I just need it as a focus, so maybe yeah.
Yeah, cool.
I wish I could picture things in my mind because I really want like a scene that I'm watching of the wombats just like felling wood and like
Yeah. Yeah.
whistling as they go.
I just imagine a lot of them just really not like continuously saying like we're not beavers. Like that's just want to make
The
that very
twig
clear.
blights on Wilbur's shoulder, looking at Wilbur like, how could you?
Yeah.
Twiggy looks like Gaston right now, eyes wide.
Just 1,000-yard stare.
Oh, okay. I made it. It just was never. It was never taken up. Okay. Cool. That's what it is. Yeah. Cool. So we'll say at some point, Elgin, go ahead and roll me a d20.
I'm scared.
And you can just message me what you can.
Yeah, I will. Okay.
Cool. So you see Brumhilda go up to Riley and kind of like explain the situation. See how well she does. That's a 11. So does she have help? As she's basically explaining, like, I know they're not. Like, I recognize they're wombats. They're not, they're not like beavers. This is not a, like, but I could use, all hands on deck sort of help thing. And, the wood would be used for a good cause. It's not like I'm, I guess I'm building a house with it and we already have that research. You see, like, her explaining all of this to Riley, who's just kind of like sitting there, arms folded, listening to, like, hey, I need to destroy a part of your forest.
Before Milo helps, can I get an insight check on Riley? Is
Sure.
she enjoying watching Brumhilda squirm, or is she actually weighing the options?
Okay, cool. Yeah, give me an insight check.
It was a 24.
Cool.
Wait,
You
let me-
see Riley.
Yeah.
Okay. As you see Riley just kind of like sitting like this, it's a little bit of both.
Mhm.
Honestly, like there is like it is a concern. It's forest, and you're deforesting it. So yeah, should not be hugely excited about that idea. But it is also a little bit of like, you haven't talked to me, in a while, like that sort of thing.
Yeah. Milo's gonna, as Brumhilda is weirdly, like, is weirdly double talking and like not sure of what she's saying.
Mm-hmm.
Milo's gonna pop in and Riley, I genuinely, we wouldn't ask if it wasn't a resource we needed, and we are aware of how large of an ask this is to, your life, asking to take some of the forest for our own gains. I know that's pretty big. It would really genuinely help us in safety, security, and having just a home base that we can trust.
On that side, you need to go at least 200 feet in.
Okay.
And that's where you can start.
Okay.
Oh, you know what will be fun? Is after all of this is over, we could plant the trees. We could plant trees where we felled them and use them to build Marvin.
Yeah, that sounds like that would be fun. I assume you don't need Brimhilda for that part.
For the planting of the trees?
No, for the felling the trees. She's not,
Oh.
Tiny arms.
But you know she packs a punch. She could spell some trees down or something.
No, I think she's going to come with me.
Okay, that's fine.
When Riley says that, Milo's gonna tug on her skirt or whatever, and to get her to lean down. Riley, sorry.
Okay.
Tug on to get her to lean down, and
she doesn't have a skirt. It's just full, it's wood and then
all right, tug on
naked human flesh.
Tug on her hand and get her to get her attention. And are those the trees you don't like? Are they rude to you? Is that
Are they rude to you?
is that
The ones you have beef with?
Jeez. Okay, so I'm gonna borrow Brimhilda.
okay?
Brimhilda, you wanna come with me? You see Brimhilda. You notice that Brimhilda's weirdly, the interaction between Riley and Brimhilda has been sisterly, but in this moment it is very much like aunt niece.
Yeah.
And it's very much Brimhilda seems to be yeah, I know.
As they walk away, I'm gonna say to Milo, I've never seen her look like she's in trouble before. And then I look at the forest and I go, let's get those bastards.
Beautiful. And you guys, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say as we go off towards the trees, is Wilma around?
Yeah. I'll say above board, it might make sense to whatever you're wanting to do, you're gonna have to convince all the wombats to kind of come to you. I do imagine you guys just do that. I'm not gonna have you guys roll for that. So maybe there's a moment in that scene coming up for Milo and Wilma.
Yeah.
But yeah, so say as you guys start to gather up some wombats to help you fell some trees, some really mean trees in the forest, we will take our 10-minute break. We'll see you guys in 10.
I love how much that got you, Miranda.
And we're back. Welcome back.
Alright.
Welcome back.
Hooray!
Cool. So I think we cut to about maybe an hour or so later as we're hearing the heavy sort of like chopping sounds of trees made with whatever Guar has as far as like weapons go. You guys will have to like kind of like be like sparing on like having to give up all of your, because they don't have any tools like that. So
Guar.
imagine Guar.
My 4 daggers are gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, did Guar cast Shatter and do it that way?
I could.
Yeah. Good. Yeah.
I cast Shatter on the trees.
They all the wombats
They
blow up.
disintegrate.
No.
Toothpicks.
Oh no.
Take this, you conniving bitch!
So I think as you guys are kind of set to work, you see them kind of like moving away. Some of them are like using like they remind you several times that they're not beavers, but you do see them like using like their teeth in trying to gnaw into the trees. So that process is just kind of started, and I would say like Milo, you are probably found a way to be able to kind of like be working close with Wilma.
Yeah.
Who is, I always forget, I think Wilma's this one?
Yeah.
Is that right?
I was just about to say they all should wear sweaters with the first initial of their name, and I was like, that's not gonna work.
No.
Never mind.
No, they're all... You know what? Yeah, we'll try that. We'll do that.
Yeah.
They all put on W's.
In their minds, it would work.
It would.
Yeah.
Right.
My W's a little squiggly like this, and his is a little more rhetorical.
Cool. So
Um,
Milo, you're working close by with Wilma.
Yeah, I'm gonna notice. I'm gonna like wait for a moment when Wilma is like taking a break, getting some water or something, and
You see the tree had just fallen down. You see Wilma's just like kind of like,
hey, Wilma, I have something for you. I don't really use it anymore. And it but it really helps me out in a lot of situations. And Milo's going to present Wilma with his billowing cloak of protection that he is hemmed to her size and like
Okay.
tailored to her.
beautiful. You hand it to her. Did you think that my cloak was bad?
No, I like your cloak a lot. This
Red.
It is red. This one is it's kind of like a dark green, but it does give you a little more protection in like if you're on an adventure. And if you as he's saying this, he ties it on to Wilma. And if you spin around or like take your arm and move the cloak, it billows really coolly, and it feels really neat.
Like this, and you're tying it around her. So I imagine you're kind of like behind her,
Mm-hmm.
right? So yeah, like this, and she just kind of gives a little tug, and all of a sudden there's just a full like of just like just a cloak just smacking you in the face.
Oh, yeah, that was.
Whoa.
How'd that feel? That looked awesome.
Yeah, yeah, I guess that could be like one of my like attacks. Like I just turn around and then just like throw the cloak, and it just billows in the bad guy's face.
Yeah, it could. I mean, it's not going to do much damage. Like it might disorient him, though.
Yeah.
that would be cool.
Does Wilbur have one?
No.
Awesome.
I figured that would be something
I'm losing you for a second, Jamie.
Oh. I figured that'd be something you could you'd have one up on him.
Yeah, and like kind of like stares across the trees fields. We see Wilbur kind of like in the far distance.
But yeah, if you I mean,
She does it again and it hits Milo in the face again. It's right behind. Wilbur, I think you do see like she didn't pull that hard. There's no reason why their wind would be like picking up on that. So you do see it just smacking Milo in the face, but then you see it come down. It looks like a magical item.
Well, that was probably a grave mistake on his end.
Is that Wilbur talking?
Yeah. My little sister's probably gonna have a crush on him.
What, dear? As you see Walter like kind of right beside you, just that's not Walter. Nope, that's not Walter either.
you gotta label these
Walter.
then.
There's
Yeah,
Walter.
there's the right W.
Yeah.
Nope.
Come on.
It looks like Milo has gifted Wilma a cloak with some powers.
Oh, that's really nice.
Nice for her.
Wilbur, I'm sure that apple tastes great, but you gonna help me or
Oh yeah.
go back to work on that. Cool. Moving back to Wilma and the scene. Thanks, Milo.
Yeah, I hope it serves you well. And yeah, I hope it keeps you safe. And as he says that, Milo's gonna take his I don't even know what. Yeah, probably a dagger, and just start stripping like limbs off of the wood, off of like the tree that just fell.
Nice. Yeah.
I think while this is all happening, I've got like 5 or 6 or 7 wombats. We got a system going. I fell the big tree. They just immediately run over and hack away at the limbs.
Yeah, I love it.
And I'm cheering them on. I'm like, you're doing great. Yes, this is fantastic. Look how fast and efficient you are.
You just hear 1, 1, 2, 2, and they're all kind of working together.
Yeah.
Is Gutter helping them?
That's a good question.
Blah. Blah.
Yeah, I think Gutter is absolutely helping him.
Yeah,
Every time they're shouting, "Bah!" He knows that it's 10 times, but like, yeah, is not saying 1, 2. It's just saying blah against everything. Yeah, that's perfect. I love that.
Just Tasmanian devil language.
Yep, I love it. At that moment, you see Brimhilda kind of walking back alone. Oh, good. They're.
Hey,
What is Gutter shouting?
Oh, he's just counting with them. Are you okay? How'd that go?
Oh, I got in trouble.
For what?
Riley and I are very. We are very close, and she cares very deeply for me, and I her, but I. Sometimes I can be a little short-sighted on how I might be treating others.
You don't say.
Okay, that was a perfect opportunity for you to be like, well, I've never.
Well, I've never.
All right.
Hey, let's. Brimhilda, can I just be level with you here? You have come a long way in the time we've spent together. So for what it's worth, I do think that you've improved quite a bit. You've even made some jokes.
I've made jokes before.
I know, but it's a process, you know, and it's not going to be perfect, and it's not going to always feel perfect. But as long as you feel like you're a little better than you were yesterday, you're going to be fine. I believe in you. Do you see all the asshole trees I knocked down so far?
Yeah, honestly, that's great, Quar. That's going to be a huge help.
Good, I hope so. I'm really excited to have Marvin back again. I think it'll be great, and we feel good to have you back in your element and everything. You deserve that.
Yeah, I guess I feel kind of bad because, I destroyed Marvin.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You didn't mean to, though.
Yeah, but I mean, it's. I'm just trying to kind of figure out what do I. Bringing Marvin back. I assume he will have memory. Maybe.
Sure.
And if he does, what do I say?
You could start by saying sorry. I mean, own up to what you did and try to make it right. That's all we can do. Admit when we make mistakes, try to learn from it, and be a little better, after that.
Yeah, but what do I really do?
Fix him. You fix him. You own up to it if he says, "Hey, why did you do that?" And we make Marvin better than he was before.
Yeah, make him better.
Yeah.
That.
Put a little sunroom, like of the skylight. We could do something like that. Or I'm not an architect or anything, but maybe there's we could have like a quarters for us. I'm just saying, like that'd be cool. And then maybe ooh, I know we could do like a sparring room. That would be really fun. Oh man, that'd be really cool. We don't have to. I mean, do what you want to do. I'm overstepping that.
No, continue.
And I think that there could be like a library for you, obviously, and maybe a sewing room for Milo. That would be really cool, and he could do something really fun.
I think there's like a distance where I think as it starts to kind of pull back, and you see Brumhilda just enjoying hearing Guar talk about dreams and aspirations, and it is fully interrupted by one of the, I will say Wally, just, can we take a break? Oh, yeah, Guar, you're...
Oh, yeah, sure. And then, I was just gonna say, maybe a little,
Guar, they're asking if they could take a break.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Take your time, get some water, relax a little bit, and we'll get back to it in 10.
Plump down right where he's at.
We'll just get back to it in 10. That's great. You're doing great. And then maybe like a chapel, like a little chapel for Eldrin. I think that would help her feel like she's more connected to Persona. Don't tell her I said that though, because I don't want her to think that it's my idea. Then she probably won't want to use it. So,
hey, Woody, could you get me some water? Still feel like I could move.
Oh, I got it. And I misty step over to the
beautiful
water.
Yeah, so you guys probably pulling like someone, so there's a couple of Wombat's job that is just kind of take water from the pond out there. Cool. Saren, I'd say you're probably working, and I think you're working, and I think Winona's with you, and Winona's trying to help, but it's systematically there's several times where you're having to nope, not that tree, and having to kind of maneuver where she's facing and all that.
Could we flash back a few minutes for Saren?
Sure.
Before Raylor goes off with Huxley.
Yeah.
I had something
absolutely.
I wanted to do.
Let's do it.
So she's just gonna pull him aside before he walks over there and pull something out of her bag, and she puts the talisman of vitality around his neck. I don't want to give you too many projects. What you guys are going to work on is more important, but when you get a chance, it's kind of like a spare the dying sort of thing. If you want to check that out and get attuned to it, a gift, just in case he loses it again, whatever happened back there. Also, I had an idea.
He sold my... It was my invention.
You two obviously have a lot to talk about. I did have an idea though. You know that that find familiar thing that you can do. You know, I don't. I'm assuming he had it back then. But Gaston, the little robot dog thing
Oh,
that
Yeah. Where's that?
he got, I don't know, Eisenheim, he was in prison and things happened and Gaston is supposedly gone and he doesn't seem to know where he is, and he made this bird thing to replace him, and I don't know, if I lost Gerard, I know I'd be a wreck. Maybe if you want to, I don't know, something sort of peace offering or apology to, you know, whatever's happening, maybe that would make him a little less hostile. I know it's only temporary, but maybe, you know.
Well, I was mad, and then you said that, and now I can't. Can you just let me be mad? Yeah, no, that's awful. I didn't know.
You've both been through a lot. You both deserve to be mad, probably, but that, like I said, I don't know a lot of what happened, but being mad at each other isn't going to get us very far. So, go kiss and make up and make a thing, or don't. Just an idea. She's just gonna kiss him on the cheek and walk away. Start walking.
That's not gonna happen. All right. And we
She's
have
she's very proud of herself.
Yeah, we have a moment of just like seeing Huxley like walking out to or walking to to, I think it was it was Wilbur's like kind of like hut sort of thing, and Rayla just kind of staring out after him, and just kind of like moves after him.
If he walks by me, can I stop him for a second, Raylor?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, but sorry, go, Kayla. You were about to say something.
Yeah.
So I was just gonna say the find familiar thing. He can only cast that as a ritual, so I think it takes an hour and 10 minutes. But you know, if he gets around to that at some point.
Now, what was the insinuation? What you wanted him to do?
I know it doesn't technically say dog or robot dog, but just make like a little version of Gaston, just to like cheer Huxley up.
Yeah. Cool.
Nothing mechanical. Well, robot dog, but like mechanically it doesn't have to do anything. It was just like he makes a thing that looks like Gaston, and hopefully Huxley doesn't, you know, set him on fire and get mad at him for it.
Yeah. So the only thing I'll say is like with and we'll make this work how you want, but I'll say like the familiar that he's calling on would be like some sort of miniature creature that would look somewhat like a dog. So it'd be like very like robot dog will not be the same at all. But the concept, like I'm with you on the idea of like that's what
his idea. The idea is to make something that kind of looks like Gaston, to hopefully make Huxley smile and be less of a dick.
Yeah, cool. We'll see how that works. Raylor passes by Eldrin, kind of like looking down as they pass, not wanting to make any more waves.
As he passes by, Eldrin says, "Can I give you a piece of advice?"
Sure.
I don't like you, but...
That's your advice?
No, I just wanted to preface what I'm about to say because my advice is going to make it seem like I'm rooting for you. You made Huxley feel like he wasn't enough, and then you left the next day. So think about that when you think about how angry you are with him. Well, I have things to do.
Yeah, you see him open his mouth like he's about to say something, and that's when Eldrin's like, and I'm
Yeah.
done.
Hmm.
And yeah, his demeanor like fully softens at that, and he continues to kind of move forward. Yeah. Also, Eldrin sticking up for Huxley.
I mean,
Interesting.
it's a little bit.
Cool.
We
Meanwhile,
confided.
yeah, it's true.
Mhm.
We move over to Eldrin. I will say this, Saren, you are walking into a scene because I do want that to happen because I think it's really, really funny for Saren's character to have to have to kind of guide Winona and just be like, no, I want to help. I'm gonna help. Just tell me where to swing this.
Tell me where to swing. Guide me. You have to ghost
She's
her.
dodging the axe.
Yeah, like having to look.
Like, no, this way.
There's actually a moment, Sarah, where you realize, like, okay, well, Winona can see me fine, so as long as I'm able to dodge her attacks, it could just make it always be hitting the because I think like stylistically she's a commoner in her attack rolls, so I think Sarah would easily be able to dodge out of all of them, and like not only dodge but be able to kind of guide to where it's supposed to be at, which does not help the speed of what's going on at all. But it would be really funny. Beautiful. Eldrin.
Yes. Eldrin she'll go back to the room that the yurt she is sharing with Noros, and she'll take the incense and the 4 ivory strips that Broomhilda gave her, and she's going to cast she's going to pray to Persona, and she's going to cast Legend Lore for the first time. It takes about 10 minutes to do, so it's a really boring 10-minute prayer that Eldrin's doing.
I need you to recite it by heart for me, please.
Okay. Our Persona, who art in the ocean.
Oh, okay. There you go. There's Eldrin, by the way. There we go.
And so she's going to name and describe everything she can about Tal, and see if she can find any more precise and detailed information about him from this spell.
This is so foreseeably this could be huge.
I know.
Right. So what I will say is that it is a very high DC to be able to kind of get over.
Okay.
So anything you want to kind of like pump into this, feel free to do so.
Yeah, I'll guide myself. I mean, does the fact that I'm casting a 5th level spell do anything, or?
Let me do this. How high of a spell can you cast?
I can cast up to 7th.
So I will say this is up to you. If you cast a 7th level spell, I will give you plus 10 to this roll.
All right. Let me see. All right. No one die today. I will do a 7th level spell.
I can't commit to that.
Damn it. And I will also guide myself. Is it just a straight roll, or is it my spell modifier?
I will say it is your spell modifier. So let me just do the making sure this is possible but not easy. So that's 10 plus a D4 plus 4. So 14 plus whatever this is going to be is a DC 30.
Okay. No, let's try this. A nat 20.
Hey. Joe, does a 34 count? Does that work?
Wait, let me roll my D4 too. It's a 4. So 24, 28 plus, so 38.
38.
it had to happen someday for me. Okay.
So I will say, like the nat 20 sort of part of this is no difference than a success. Just
Yeah.
to give you kind of a heads up on that.
Mhm.
Also, am I going slower?
No, I don't think so.
No. Okay. All right. Cool. And you're doing legend lore?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Which I think I'll let you explain it, but I think it's kind of cool, right? Because like all of a sudden information's in your head. So it's like a movie or like.
Yeah, so I think for how it's going to be portrayed for Eldrin, given the idea that this legend lore is coming from Persona,
Mhm.
you're underwater. And you see there is a greenish, bluish light shining on what looks to be like a lockbox that seems to be halfway buried into the sand. It's about maybe 20 feet from you. You see nothing but darkness everywhere else. As you walk closer to it, you feel a strong current, like an undertow, start to pull you back. You even see, as you're first having to kind of steady yourself just to be able to kind of stand against it, you notice that the lockbox itself kind of seems to almost shimmer as if it's about to disappear. Your mind starts to hear this soft static around the edges. It seems to get closer as you're pushing and fighting against the current, trying to keep you from this box. The static seems to get harder and heavier. This very kind of these very sort of sudden sort of sounds of this. You've never experienced this before in anything else that is recalling information. As you recognize with a nat 20 that you're pulling on information that has been wiped from history. You're reaching for whatever tether could be left, or could be left here. There's moments of we've kind of insinuated this over the course of all campaigns that if this phenomenon happened over 100 or so years ago, someone would remember it. It wouldn't be such a mystery. It hasn't happened that long ago. So why is it such a lost concept or idea? I'm going to need you to give me a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Can I guide myself or no? Not on saving throws. I can't remember what the.
I'm going to say no.
Okay. It is kind of just an instant thing, right? Usually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ugh. Can't win them all, guys. 8. I can use my inspiration if you think I need to.
It's up to you.
Okay. Let's do different dice. 13.
Okay. You take 46 points of psychic damage as you fight against all odds to get closer to this figure, to this object. You get there. And you can see that the lock, the padlock is dangling, kind of like shifting and moving against the current that's pushing against it. But you see whoever locked this, they left the key in the lock. But it's old, it's rusted. I'm going to say give me a strength saving throw.
Oh, God. Okay. 19.
Okay. You take 10 points of psychic damage as you manage to just turn and you're able to turn the key in the lock, but the key seems to have fully broken. The rust kind of in the center just lost. But you're able to take the padlock off. What do you do next?
Do I have the ability to cast spells?
Sure.
I cast Death Ward on myself.
Okay. Good.
And then I'm gonna I think about what Saren does when we dungeon dive, and I try to check for traps like she would, knowing that I don't know exactly what I'm looking for, but
Yeah, you got it. There's a weird moment, I think, here as you look for traps. And I'll say, go ahead and give me I'll call it perception. We'll call it investigation, actually.
ugh, I like perception better. All right. 9.
So with the 9, you recognize that the idea of like this, something that is like kind of interestingly both difficult for Eldrin and also Lorianne here. This isn't here. I'm not here. This isn't real. There's some sort of like, I think there's actually a moment in your head looking like, how did I get here? And you remember the like legend lore and the connection here, and like, even though weirdly enough, like you've never cast this spell before, I will tell you above board with all the other campaigns that have gone on that have done this, it does not happen like this. You were pulled into whatever this is.
Mm-hmm.
So with a 9, you recognize that and recognize that if there is a trap here, it's not going to be physical.
Yeah. Oh, I will. Trying to see. I'm just going to. I'm gonna say a prayer to Prasanna, and I'm gonna say, I know I've had my issues lately with everything that's going on, but I still completely trust you. And I'm just going to give myself to the moment and open it.
Okay. I'm going to say give me a religion check on top of that.
Okay. 10.
Okay.
I have a headache.
As you open this box, everything that was discussed about the living light, what they are, what they look for, how they operate, their power, it's all based in an understanding of, and for most, especially Tall, a sincere understanding with the ability to twist towards his will. The concept of emotion, feelings. So you open the box, and you need to give me a charisma saving throw.
Okay. 9. I should have done what I was originally thinking. That's okay.
$26 points of psychic damage.
Okay.
As you feel that static, that and all signs are telling you to turn back. But you've opened the box. You have it disconnected from its bottom portion. All you need to do is just flip it over. Do you do it?
I'm going to cast Calm Emotions on myself first.
Okay.
And suppress any strong emotions I have. And just try and be the Eldrin I portray to everyone else, but on the inside.
Okay. Who is the Eldrin underneath?
Well, instead of being angry and sad and scared and annoyed, I'm trying to just be what I try and make people think I am, and just unfeeling and uncaring. I kind of think about my mom and how she looks and try to, even though I know like she has emotion too, but like I'm like, okay, this is a time where I want to suppress it all. And then I kind of actually think a little bit about Raylor and how I scolded him for going after knowledge to the point where he got himself into a very bad situation.
Okay.
I think maybe I'm a hypocrite right before I suppress my emotions with calm emotions.
You see it first. You're no longer underwater. You see desert sand. For Eldrin, it's confusing, but As far as the eye can see, you see this construct moving from right to left as it's seemingly following the sun. You hear it screech out in a heavy You see its pieces moving mechanically as it is breathing out black smoke. As you look to your left, you see two figures crouched down, standing on the same cliffside that you are. This red mountain. You see specifics of these figures, these creatures are blurred. Like even in the power that Persona has helped to push you forward into understanding this, there's still abilities to hide, to cloak. But you see their faces clean as day. Glowing blue eyes. They don't seem to be facing you, they seem to be facing out towards that construct. You hear one of them say, "They're on the train." You hear the shorter one. And it's only a matter of time. Vision starts to fade as you see other places, an island stretched out against this tropical waters, leaning up against the against the shoreline, and a ship leaving a harbor. Two figures watching them leave. Similar cloaks, similar eyes, but different faces. Another flash, another figure standing on a high mountain top with white snow glistening, or glittering in the air and touching down over the faces. We see yet another two individuals. Different, but similar. The same blue eyes. Staring down over figures that seem to be trudging through the snow. Looking upwards towards them, but far enough away that they probably don't see them. You see another scene that starts with a heavy crack of rope, as if pulling against something hard. You hear a snap. You see a crowd of people standing around. Watching a hanging. A small, very small, cloaked figure walking away from the crowd towards another cloaked figure that even just behind the cowl you can see a semblance of blonde hair. You recognize the walk. You recognize the hair. That's when Wilbur and Brumhilda met. And once again, you see on a house that is across from where you are, two figures standing on a roof, watching. The scene moves up to the afternoon sky where you can see the moon is just visible. You see something poof out from the vision of that far off moon, seemingly zooming into it as if it is the source of information. The cloud kind of poofs off from it, as it looks like the result of some sort of explosion. And you see the figures turn and look towards it, and that's where that heavy static seems to kind of come into view, as you recognize that these times, these moments are disjointed, but weirdly connecting with each other for some reason. Something is coming off the moon and is hurtling towards Astera. As the moon is sitting in the center, you notice that there's lines that start to kind of form around it, glowing in place, but showing this insignia. And then, as if lit by the lines traced out in gasoline, you see blue flames just outline the circles around the center eye. The light becomes extremely bright, blinding, as it comes closer to you, closer, till you're bathed in it. And you wake up, and you're on the floor of the hut.
I think I lay there. I feel like there's blood coming out of my nose. And I don't know what to do with this information. So I think I sit there until Noros comes back.
Yeah.
However long that is, it could be hours. Like just replaying everything in my head. I don't clean myself up. I don't heal myself. I have 19 hit points, so I look horrible.
I think, roll me a d4.
Where'd my d4 go? There it is. 1.
Okay. An hour passes. You, I think, kind of crouched in the fetal position, hugging your knees. You see Noros No, that's less fun. Need everybody to roll me a d20. Except for Eldrin.
15.
4.
7.
19.
Okay. Milo, you come in to see Eldrin huddled into the corner of the hut. You might have went to go fetch her to see if she was done. It's up to you.
Hey, Eldrin, has Norris had this rash for long? Oh, fuck, what is... are you okay? What's happening? What
I,
happened?
I look up slowly, and there's just like a vacant stare. I think I saw
Have
too
you
much.
even like cleaned the blood?
No,
from
I
your
haven't
nose?
cleaned the blood or
Yeah, so you
anything.
see like that, yeah.
Yeah, and I just look at you. I think I saw too much. I don't understand.
Milo's gonna help you up and sit you on a crater on a chair or something. And what? Okay, what happened?
I don't know. I saw things that I don't think I was supposed to see. I don't think anyone's supposed to see. I don't understand. Who are those people? Who are they, Milo?
I don't.
We're being
know.
watched. We're being watched. And I look around, like paranoid.
Mm-hmm.
As you're like panicky and getting paranoid, Milo's gonna take your bracelet off of you and hey Broomhilda, Eldrin needs help that's out of my purview. Can you come to her hut?
And I don't think Eldrin hears that, but sorry, on.
We'll be right there. And motions for Guar to help.
So Eldrin, I don't even think is listening to you or even feels you take off her bracelet, which, and she's just like, no, Milo, you don't understand. They're watching us. They're watching everything. And they don't want us to know.
Wilbur, Sarah, rolling perception checks.
Okay, so we don't know who's watching us. We know you've seen them watching us.
What's a train, Milo?
Like the back of a dress?
No. They said that they were on the train and it looked very ugly. What's a train?
If you roll above an 11, you're joining Guar and running back. You notice Guar and Broomhilda leaving, and they look worried.
Yep. I got a 25, so.
Cool. Saren, I don't think I even need to ask.
I don't.
Am I rolling?
Oh, wait, sorry.
What did you say, Kayla?
What was I rolling?
Perception. You can't roll below an 11, right?
Yeah, I can't. I literally can't.
Yeah, you're good. You're coming along.
That's like 30 something or whatever. Yeah, go ahead.
You heard my message to Broomhilda.
Yeah, you somehow heard it. You intercepted it. Yeah, Eldrin just like muttering to Milo and saying like, no, they're gonna know. No one's supposed to know that, and they're watching. They're gonna know. They're gonna know.
Okay, where did you see them?
My eyes get really wide, and I look at Milo with the blood on my face, and I say, everywhere.
Did they look like they were with Tall? Did they look like they were?
I don't know. They were just. I didn't see Tall at all. I asked about Tall, and I saw these. They had these blue eyes, and they were just watching.
Blue eyes.
What's going on?
Milo's
you guys come in here.
that makes Milo think of Gaston.
I look up with a gaunt face and blood.
Not Gaston, I'll tell you that.
Not Gaston.
No, but that makes like
Yeah, no, Gaston had like lighty up
Mhm.
eyes, right?
yeah.
Lighty
And
up
he wa-
eyes.
He was
Scientific term.
also like going across rooftops
Yeah.
in
Mhm.
the same place. Yeah.
So that makes that yeah.
Almost as if you could have assumed that you saw Gaston when it might have been something else.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, I have a question. Was Eldrin dead when Wilbur first met Brumhilda?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Eldrin knows she
think
was
so.
dead then, because I'm pretty sure I know the whole story.
Yeah.
Okay. So I say they were watching when Wilbur met Brumhilda. I wasn't there, Milo. I was dead. But I saw them.
Brumhilda comes into view as all of you are like now kind of crowding into the hut.
I feel like Norris is just like chopping down things. Because that would be amazing. Yes. He's helping the wombats. He's gonna realize in a little bit, be like, wait, where is everyone?
I think I think I
Can I
take
roll
one. I was just gonna say I think I take one look at Eldrin and I sprint to her and I immediately lay on hands.
Yeah.
For you have 19 points.
Mm-hmm.
19 points. I'll give you 11.
Nice.
She feels cold.
Can I
Do I feel cold? Like
once
personally?
I think you're numb.
Okay.
once everybody gets Milo's gonna like give Eldrin a hug. And can I roll a know your truth to kind of see
Ooh.
what she's
No.
no neat.
Damn.
It was a 30 to get to where she was anyway, so like yeah, that makes sense.
Know your truth is for when someone lies. It's not a...
Yeah.
You said
I'm
that
trying
she
to see
feels
her
cold.
true-
You said
Yeah,
she
I see.
feels cold. Does Saren notice anything different about her? Like, is there skull
there's a
over her
possibility
face
that,
kind of thing or anything like that?
no, nothing like that. You notice
Mhm.
maybe Eldrin's like visibly shaking, but like Eldrin, I think you're like not aware that you are.
Yeah, and also you don't see Eldrin shake very often because she is immune to cold. Or she has resistant to cold.
Resistant to cold. Yeah.
Yeah, she's immune to cold, you know. No, she's resistant to cold, so she's not. So yeah. I don't even think. Eldrin doesn't even really. I don't even think she's recognizing that there are other people in the room. She's clocked in on Milo because he was the first one here. And she while he's hugging her, and she says, "What were they, Milo? I don't understand. Even they kept this information from the gods."
Did they? I mean, did it? I don't know. Brumhilda, does this sound like anything?
Comes in kind of like grasps Eldrin's face. I need you to tell me what you saw. Okay, specifics, any sort of iconography, something that we can check on.
Okay. I shakily grab my journal and a quill, and I try my best to draw what you showed me, but I think it's very, very shaky, the drawing. Like someone who like is usually very precise with things, that circles like like.
I think seeing her shake, I probably hug both of them. I hug Eldrin and Milo, and I cast Cure Wounds on Eldrin just to give her a little more juice. And that is 16 more points of healing.
You You all feel Brumhilda's private sanctum come up over as she's like looking at Eldrin and like just recognizing we need to be hidden from everything right now, and just tries to. And it is you can choose whether or not it's see through or not. It is not. I've never seen these markings.
They were just watching, Brumhilda, watching, just like watching events that weren't connected in different parts of the world. I saw you and Wilbur meet, and they were watching. They weren't doing anything. Why are they watching? I asked about Tall, not in the knowledge it didn't want to be revealed. It fought me.
I need you to look at me. Okay. I believe you. Okay. I believe that what you saw was real. And don't ever do that again without me being around. Okay.
It's not supposed to work like that.
I know.
Where's Noros?
Someone get Noros.
Milo sprints out of the hut.
He runs faster because he's wearing his shorty shorts.
Yeah.
100%.
Poor Noros.
Hey.
Hey, I need you to come with me. So something's going on with Eldrin. She's okay.
Drops the axe and goes running.
Yeah.
As we're has like 20 feet ahead of you before you do your.
I'm gonna catch up. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna catch up to him. As we're running, Milo's gonna kind of catch him up, explain the situation. So Eldrin was doing the find lore,
right,
whatever, and she it seems like it showed her something she wasn't looking for and forced some information on her that really shook her, really fucked her up. So we
you at this point you hear him like kind of like huffing and puffing as he gets to the door. Okay, everybody, out of my way, please move. And you see Nora's kind of bends down, kind of like grabs your face and just like kind of like stares. We got a cloth or something to wipe her face, please. Okay, you're okay. You're here. You're safe. You're with me. Okay.
I think she is breathing a little bit better now, and she puts her forehead against his, and I think she kind of like she kind of not collapses but falls into him, and just hugs him very tightly.
You all see the etched drawing on the table of this symbol. Even in its form, kind of lines all scraggly. like you all to roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh man.
You're all within 10. You're all within 10 feet of me. I had
Not
5.
does Norris need to as well?
Choose 2. 2 people, Guar. Because
Me.
is it 10 or 30?
It's 10.
It's 10. Okay. Because stylistically, I would say. Oh wait, 10. We talked about this before. Yeah, that's fine. Everybody goes.
Did you say Eldrin doesn't need to?
Eldrin does not need to. No.
Does Noros? Is he looking at it, or is he focused on Eldrin?
I'd say Noros is probably just focused on you.
Okay.
I think he would. Yeah, I think in this moment. Well, eventually he might look at it. So go ahead and roll just for eventually.
Okay.
It was a con save?
Wisdom.
Wisdom.
Wisdom, okay.
What do we get with Guar's?
+5.
+5, cool.
25.
Norris is 22.
18.
I got a nat 20 for a 31.
I got a 30.
Norris, not Norris. Guar stares at it harder.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
What did Noros get?
Oh, Norris got a 22.
Okay. All of you take 14 points of psychic damage, except for Eldrin. As that same sort of static seems to, for a moment, to be all you can hear, and it's sporadic, even with all of you, as you kind of like if there's a moment of like do you hear that? Like it's like, do you hear that? And it's all different. And there's moments when you look at what's on the page and it seems to flicker out as if it's trying to disappear from existence. But you see it. You all passed.
Milo's gonna rip the paper up. Hey, let's not draw that again.
We can't let it doesn't want to be remembered. We can't let it fade.
I mean, you both have good ideas. Wilbur, Saren, Guar, Milo, Eldrin, each of you take a corner. It's a split into 4.
Mm-hmm.
Take a corner.
Okie doke.
So we're dealing with something larger than. I mean, this is like an idea, like a concept. We're like what can be. I mean, Brimhilda is like it's. I mean, it's not like a rune I've ever seen. Like, is that a like?
It's like a symbol.
Yeah.
It was on the moon. In the middle of it, it looked like their eyes. It was blue. It was so bright. It blinded me for. What is this?
Are we being watched right now?
I don't know.
I have kept us from being watched. Everybody, you realize that she's saying that, like, I've kept us from being watched, and recognizing that that might not be true.
Brimhilda, get your I don't know your spell book or something to write down. I'm going to tell you everything while it's fresh in my mind before it is erased, if that's something they can do.
Okay. Yeah.
And I recount everything that I can to her, but there's probably lots of pauses and like shaking, and it probably takes me a little bit.
Yeah. Does anybody leave here, or do you think you guys stay here to listen to all of this?
I'm staying.
I'm staying.
Milo's probably gonna wander out. He's gonna find where Huxley and Raylor are, and like if he finds them, just let them know something's going down.
Okay.
What does he walk
Milo,
into?
I think as you walk out,
Not the time.
you walk out in the part of the maybe the end of that retelling, and you see trees, birds singing. Everything looks normal. But it's an interesting day, clear skies. So clear that
Yeah, Gaston's back.
so clear that you can see the outline of the moon.
Mm.
I think it stops you for a second. Now I'll let you roll Know Your Truth.
Nat 20.
Did you get a nat 1 in there at a certain point? Was that what that?
I did, yeah. That was what those 3 were, yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Nat 20. There's a moment that you feel like everything around you seems to darken slightly. From your own sort of focal point. Staring out and realizing you've never really looked at the moon that close before.
Mm.
With a nat 20, you're pretty sure you see there's a crater in it, as if something's missing. And with that, we're going to end tonight's session. See you guys next week.